Did you start already? I'll edit that out. Okay, hi. So we're going to learn brushwork with slip and slip trailing, and you're going to be making 2 test tiles. One test tile is going to be the slip brushwork, and the other one is the slip trailing. So the slip brushwork supplies are on your table. Otherwise, the slip trailing stuff's over here. And in the glaze room on the bottom left is where you can normally find this if you ever want to use it besides today. So the first thing you need to do is roll out a slab. Today I will probably cut you a slab because otherwise we'd have so many people at the slab roller. And you're just going to make wet slabs today, plastic slabs. And when you get your slab, you should get a rubber rib. They're on the counter over there by the tools, and smooth it out. Okay, so it's nice and smooth. And then if you want to press design into it first, you can. You don't have to, but if you want to, you would do that now. And then you're going to cut out your shapes. So you need at least 2. So if you have extra clay, just cut out more. It's always good to have extra test tiles for stuff. And then this clay should quickly go in plastic so it doesn't dry out.
Not the recycle bin?
Or the recycle bin, if you're wanting to get up and put it in the recycle bin. Thanks for that. Okay, so for the brushwork, you're just going to use these on the table, but they are in these containers that say slip or engobe. That's the French word for it. It says brush on slip. We have 3 colors right now. We have yellow, we have black, and we have white. If you look on the chart in the glaze room on the meditation wall, you'll see other colors that are covered with tape because we are out of those. But you can see what it looks like when it is glaze fired and just bisque fired without glaze. So it's in the glaze room and it's called slip, just slip. So it's literally color and slip, which is just clay and water. And we also have the black and the white, but we just poured them in here. I had helpers this morning. And what you want to do is use the bamboo brushes, the Japanese brushes, and you'll also want to get a cup of water. They're on the counter over there for your table, and a paper towel. And you can do any brushwork that's school appropriate. Here's something really important to know. You can only do this on wet clay. If you do this on bisqueware, it's going to crack off. Slip is our clay, and the bisqueware is already shrunk. So if you put slip on bisqueware, it'll crack off. So it's important that you only do this on greenware, wet or leather hard. It also will crack off bone dry because it's shrunk. So I recommend that you get your brush wet, okay, and then you pick your color, and please, just like paint, you want to wash your brush between colors. And it's just like liquidy, kind of like glaze, but it's not glaze, it's color and slip. And then you can just brush on just randomly, or you can actually try to paint something because I'm okay if it's not totally wabi-sabi. If you press texture into it, your trays don't have the big brushes, but you can get one of these bigger brushes and you can use that and it will go over the surface, which is cool for that. So that's another thing that you can do, and they're so simple. The other thing you'll want to do though is smooth the edges. You might want to do this before you paint on it. I should have done that, so bless you. Smooth the edges. And then write your name and class shape on the bottom before you even start, because if you don't have smooth edges, it goes on that card of shame, right? So you want to smooth those edges, put your name on it, and then do that. So that's one. The other one takes a little more practice, so it'll be a little more complicated. So today when you're done, make sure you put the lid on and you wash your brush before you put it in the tray for the next group. Slip trailing. I don't have each of you for your table. It's over on this table. So I'm just going to grab it. You can keep the camera there. So there are 2 types right here, but then there are also pastry bags. So if I only have 2 of each color in these containers, but you can also fill a pastry bag. So if you fill a pastry bag, you just grab a spoon and the slip, and you just scoop that slip, this is yellow, into a pastry bag. And it's thicker, so it's like frosting, like you saw in the video. So you literally just scoop it in, or you can just take turns with it over on the side. But if you want to take it to your table, you just scoop it in. You have to press it down if you've never done frosting and fill it up. I'm not going to, it takes time to do that. I'll do that in a minute. And then you get this raised texture on your piece. So this was black slip and then yellow dots of slip trailing. Be careful, this broke, so don't cut your finger on it. But I'm going to pass this around because you can see what it's like bisque fired. Don't cut yourself on it here. Pass that around, please. Okay, so I also filled the slip in a glue bottle instead of the pastry bag like you saw in the video. And then I have a pastry bag that actually has a decorating tip. And I have 2 different types of decorating tips. I have the wide tip and also a point tip that you guys can use. And I recommend on a paper towel that you test it first because it can go, right? So give it a little squirt and test it first. And then you guys can decide what kind of designs. Do you want to do dots? Do you want to draw lines like he did? And you can create all sorts of designs. And you might try the 2 different tips. So if you were a professional cake decorator, you'd be holding it like this somewhat. And then this one creates those thick lines that can be really interesting. And then you just let it dry and fire it. And then it will come out when it's bone dry with a raised texture and surface. Try not to drop that. And then this one, the little stem came off, but this is my brushwork one. I painted it with white slip and then designs. Okay? Then take a picture of these, upload them to Google Classroom, and then they go in that room. Okay? So I'm going to cut a bunch of slabs so that you don't have to come over to the slab roller. But if you ever want to make more, you can always cut your own. And so when you guys go back to your table, you can kind of look through and decide what kind of slips you might want to use. Or if you want to start over here with the slip trailing, you can do that too. So you need both slip trailing as well as the brush on slip.